We're joined today by Treasury Director General Lungisa Fuzile. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you.
Yes. So I think just if you could spend a little bit of time just reflecting on your own career at Treasury. Treasury's been growing as an organization, and you've been there since the financial crisis in the world, and you've really been there to help the National Treasury look after this country's expenditure plans and help it grow as well.
I joined the Treasury 1998, January, February, thereabout. Very young, as you can imagine, because I'm still young actually. With, academic qualifications, with some experience, but very limited experience really, of working in government, because I just spent 1 year at State South Africa before that time. But very excited to serve in an institution led by someone like Trevor Manuel at the time, whom I had seen and on occasion had to defend some of what he said, some of what he was pursuing in terms of macroeconomic fiscal policy, as was contained in the RDP and GEA at the time. Now there I was, having to serve under him, having to interact with him as a junior official of government, deputy director. I got impressed right from the beginning by the manner in which Trevor Manuel, Maria as Director General, and Andre Roux as the DDG, all the management, some of them people who are there, Andrew Donaldson, Ishmael Momoniat, both of whom were my bosses at different points in time, by the way. People know less about this. Joined and watched how vigorous these people, how intense they would debate topical issues to arrive, ultimately to arrive at a particular view to take out to the rest of government, Mr. Mandela's cabinet at the time, subsequently Mr. Mbeki's government, and of course the list goes on. I was struck to a certain degree by the high degree of professionalism. The fact that if you did a half-baked piece of work, you got feedback instantly, but the feedback would be constructive most of the time. But I would admit here that there would be instances where if you are faint-hearted, you would close your office and weep a bit before you recover from it. But that's what has made us to be the people we are. If you think that we're good, we owe it to that kind of leadership, where professionals were allowed to express themselves, to be who they are, to debate issues without fear that holding a different view, even if you genuinely hold it, could see you leave the institution unceremoniously. In fact, it was welcomed with very open arms that you had contrarian views, as long as you can argue them out, as long as you hold them genuinely. Having different views or views that were different from those of the rest of the team were no crime at all.
So that reflection of Treasury of the civil servants is one of higher professionalism, and one that was really shown when the political disruption started happening. And how has that changed, if anything, at Treasury, the civil servants of the institute?
No, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. But as I made the admission in February on the 22nd, change generates anxiety. Even professionals who pride themselves to be upholding the highest degrees of professionalism don't always adjust easily to change. But the point that I've made a number of times is that we serve as professionals not because necessarily we are committed to the individual or individuals who lead us. We serve because we are committed to our country. We are committed to the idea and the ideals of advancing democracy, of making sure that indeed a better life is delivered or attained by all South Africans. So for as long as that commitment continues to be evinced by the leadership, for as long as it remains obvious that everyone is committed to achieving our developmental objectives, our transformation objectives, within the framework of our constitution, which is the envy of many parts of the world. For as long as we do everything within the framework of the Public Finance Management Act, the Municipal Finance Management Act, and all relevant statutes, Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act, its regulations, it's as amended as late as January this year. For as long as we work towards, a better life for all South Africans,